How'd you do, I? So you've met my faithful handyman. He's just a little brought down because when you knocked, he thought you were the candy man. Hi YouTube, it's Kathy, and this is my TBR for the Rocky Horror Readathon. This is yet another readathon that is taking place throughout the month of October, and if you're counting, I am doing too many readathons. But this is what I do for fun, so it's fine. This readathon has a full bingo board of 25 prompts. Am I going to do all of them? I don't think so. Am I going to do a lot of them? Yes, I am. I will link the information down below because I'm not going to go through what every single one of these prompts means because then this video will take forever. But I am going to go through the prompts that I currently have books for and tell you what those are. First, for Frankenfurter, who is also on my shirt, you are supposed to read a queer book. I've never read one of those in my life. For this prompt, I'll be reading Blood and Vinyl by Ignacio or Limon. Blood and Vinyl is going to come up for a bunch of other prompts as well. Funnily enough, I bought this book the other day and then I saw that this readathon was announced, and then I saw in the comments of the readathon announcement this author talking about how this book fit a lot of the prompts. So I was like, well, that's perfect. I just want to read you the first little part of the blurb about this book on Goodreads because it's enough to draw me in and I don't want to know any more else. What it says is witches and vampires and fae, oh my. What's in it? Queer stuff, trans main character, eldritch things, vampires, Latinx influences, witches, punks, early 2000s, and adulty bits. I'm absolutely sold. I mean, I had already bought the book and it just fell into my lap perfectly for this readathon. Next we have Time Warp, which is a book that takes you back. For this one, I'm doubling up with another readathon I'm doing and reading Where Dreams Descend. This is Moulin Rouge meets Phantom of the Opera, and that's all I need to know. My first ever tattoo was a quote from Moulin Rouge, so I'm excited for this. I will also be using this book for the next two prompts, which are Rocky, which is a book with gold on the cover. I'm kind of bending it on this one. It's not quite gold, although on my ARC copy there is a circle of gold. And also for Rose Tint My World, which is a theatrical book, which I expect this one to be if it's Moulin Rouge mixed with Phantom of the Opera. And I mentioned how excited I am for this. Next we have Science Fiction Double Feature. For this one, you are meant to read one of the books in a duology. It doesn't matter if you're reading the first one or the second one, just has to be part of a 2-book series. For this, I will be reading The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin. All I know about this is it's epic high fantasy, and I've enjoyed Jemisin before, so it's just time to read it. For Brad, we're reading a contemporary, and for that one I'm going to use Let Me Lie by Clare Mackintosh, which again I'm reading for another readathon. I am very strategic because I like winning. This one is a thriller. I don't know anything about the plot. I have never known anything about the plot of her books going into them, and I've always loved them. Next we have Hoppatootie, Bless My Soul! And that's a book featuring romance. For this one I'm using Blood and Vinyl. I'm also using Blood and Vinyl for Eddie, which is a bad boy character, as well as Riff Raff, which has an ugly or sloppy character. And I only feel okay using this book for that prompt because the author self-identified this as an ugly and or sloppy cover. Similarly, I'm using it for Touch Me, I Wanna Be Dirty, which is obviously a smutty book. Or at least a book with smutty or adulty parts. For Columbia, you're meant to read a fun book, and surprise, surprise, Blood and Vinyl fits here too. Over at the Frankenstein Place is a spooky or eerie setting, and guess what? Blood and Vinyl works for this too. For Patient, you're meant to read the end of a series, which means that I'm going to read the follow-up to The Killing Moon, The Shadowed Sun. For Transsexual Transylvania, you're meant to read a book about a trans main character, and Blood and Vinyl has that as well. For Magenta, you're meant to read a book with pink on the cover, and I'm going to reread Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Oseman just because I love it and it's got pink on the cover. For Superheroes, you're meant to read a book with monsters, and oh yeah, Blood and Vinyl has that too. For Criminologists, you're meant to read a mystery or thriller. I already have one of those on this list, but for the sake of variety, I'm going to read Like Never and Always. All I know about this one is it's a dark contemporary YA thriller. I think has to do with a car crash and people's lives are changed. That's all I know. That's all I need to know. For Dr. Scott, we're looking for something with disability rep, and for the disability readathon, I'm reading If at Birth You Don't Succeed by Zach Anners, so I'm going to use that for this prompt as well. And the last prompt is I'm going home, which is a comfort read, so Heartstopper Volume 1, obviously. That means I am covering most of the prompts of this readathon, although not all of them, with 7 books. Blood and Vinyl, Like Never and Always, If at Birth You Don't Succeed, Let Me Lie, Where Dreams Descend, The Killing Moon, The Shadowed Sun, and Heartstopper Volume 1. There is a possibility I will read other books throughout the month that will cover other challenges, but this is a very busy month, so I'm doubling up where I can. What I'd like to know from you, if you've seen Rocky Horror, who is your favorite character? And if you've seen the stage show or the movie or both. I have personally seen both, and they are both an experience. That's it for this Readathon TBR. If you're participating, let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. If you don't feel like leaving a comment but want to make sure that I know you're here, just leave me an emoji or a smiley face in the comments. Some people have asked if there's a way to financially support this channel, so I recently set up a Ko-fi account, which is a digital tipping service. The link to that, as well as the link to my PayPal and my Amazon wishlist in case you would like to buy me a book, is down below. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you very soon. Bye. It's astounding. Time is fleeting. Madness takes its toll. But listen closely. Not for very much longer. I've got to keep control.